Hello, welcome back to Celeste but There's No Gravity. Today we're going to be picking up where we left off in Celestial Resort at the second half. So, for this challenge, essentially I'm using Max 480's Extended Variance mod to make it so that there's no gravity. So what this means is when I jump, I never stop going up, and when I move to the left or right in midair, I stay there. The only way for me to move in midair is by dashing in the direction that I want to move, or by using a wall and climbing down or up. So I have to use these two mechanics to propel myself through the level. So in this room, it's pretty basic. The only tricky part is I have to do a down dash, which instantly puts you at your max fall speed, so it's a bit hard to do it. So, most of this is pretty similar to how you would play if you were doing just a normal Celeste run, but a lot of it is different. Also, I have T-pose line on, so all the characters are T-posing. So, yeah. I'm going to do a demo dash here. So, yeah. Because I don't really want to do all of it. So anyways, after doing the successful demo dash, I came to here. And this room was kind of tricky. So I tried a few times on it. I couldn't really figure out a good solution. So then, I essentially just kept trying. And I tried a lot, and then I thought, what can I do? So I thought, maybe if I try and go high, that will work. So I went high and did a demo dash right there. And I died, but then I tried it again. And finally, I got it. Then, something weird happened. Madeline's hitbox just shrunk. And I even checked my variance. I don't have invincibility on, so I have no clue what it is. But I was dumb, and I went back here and died. So I couldn't replicate this, but I know that it's possible because I have video evidence of me doing it. So I decided we'll skip that part and we'll move on because I know that it's possible. So I got to here, turned on anti-gravity, and continued through the level. Now we're at the Oshiro fight. The Oshiro fight is probably the hardest part of the level so far. But there's some cheese that you can do in a lot of the sections that make it easier. So the first cheese that you can do is you can just go over all the goop at the top, except for in some spaces. I don't know why it's different in some spaces than others, but yeah. And then you can just jump up to those, and then you can also just dash right through that, except I wasn't fast enough that time, so there we go. Dashing right through that. This room is pretty basic. You just go over everything and then dash down at the very end. Nothing too special. This room right here probably took me the most time. I spent like 4-ish minutes on it. So I just tried over and over again, and I got it. Because this is the end of the level, so it's typically the hardest screen. So yeah, I just walked right over the goop, but the goop right there, for some reason you can't just go over it. So I had to go down. And then the goop right here, you can't go over, or you can't go over that goop either. So, yeah. So I had to go here, and I had a few risky encounters, like right there. But I made it, and I finished the level, and I moved on to quite possibly the hardest chapter so far. Chapter 4. So Chapter 4 starts out very unassuming and very easy compared to everything else. You just have those cloud blocks that you can jump over, and you can easily dash back down. So far, everything is pretty easy. But then, when we get past Granny, everything changes. As you can see, Granny is T-posing to assert her dominance. So, yeah. A few parts of this were pretty tricky. Like this part right here took me a few tries. And the wind mechanic with anti-gravity is very annoying. Some parts we could just skip, like right here. And then, again, I got the crystal heart in this one. I'm just getting the easy crystal hearts, because why not? I made it, and continued with the level. This room was really easy, as was this room. A lot of the more vertical rooms were very easy. This room I think was kind of interesting because I just skipped that block, which is what you're supposed to take. And here is where the fun started. So now the wind is just unbearably strong, and it takes forever to move. But even this isn't even the hardest part yet. So you get past this after a few attempts. And we move past this room, which is pretty interesting, but not hard. Then, yeah, we skip the block. This room took me 45 seconds. And here is where the hard part started. So the problem with this part is that you have to constantly keep moving, but you move super slowly with the wind. So this was crazy hard. And that room took me a while too. So did this room. Because the wind is just unbearably strong in these rooms. It's difficult to move. And the problem with these parts now is the snowballs. Because it would be fine if we could just slowly inch our way forward. But we can't. We have to be moving constantly. Otherwise, otherwise we get hit by the snowballs and die. So, that's a problem. But, all of the levels are possible. And I did them. I popped out a screen there, so I had to climb back down so that the transition would work. And now we have the easiest screen. This screen feels great with anti-gravity. And now we're done with the level. Let's move on. Now, this chapter, it was pretty easy. It just looks like I took a long time because I took breaks between recording it. So that's why it looks like it took so long if you're looking at the speedrun timer. So anti-gravity allowed me to skip quite a bit of stuff. So I could just skip right through there and get this key super easily. And then once I got the key, I just unlocked this and went right over here. Talked to Theo and just went on going. This part was funny. I just jumped up to the key. And then this screen took a little while for me to get, just because it required a lot of jumping around, which is usually pretty easy in vanilla Celeste, but with anti-gravity, it's kind of hard. And then you had to time these just a little early, and you had a smaller window to get through them because of anti-gravity. So that was a little difficult. And then these guys, the Seekers, aren't affected at all by anti-gravity, so that was cool. And then I found out that this part right here, where Madeline is falling into the abyss, is a cutscene. Because I wasn't controlling that at all right there. And then this was one of the easier rooms, except I kept messing up and doing that over and over again. So I had to find a new route, and that new route was this route. Then I got to Theo, and this was where the hardest part of the level started. So the problem with Theo is you can't dash while you hold him. So I had a lot of problems with in-air mobility, because once I get up, I can't go back down unless I let go of Theo. So I did this level over and over again. And then I finally got the hang of how to control Theo and Madeline with anti-gravity. Mind you, it was still very, very difficult. It was doable. This was one of the harder rooms too. The problem with the rooms are the Seekers. I feel like if it was just anti-gravity, there wouldn't really be a problem. But there is. And then I had to make sure that the Seekers were like immobilized so that they don't come after me like right away. So right here, I had to do that. And then right here, I essentially just had to distract the Seekers. And make sure that they were immobilized. So this level was probably made a little easier than usual because of the anti-gravity, especially in this part, and the fact that I was able to skip the part where you have to get 2 keys by just flying right through the part that you usually fly through with the red bubble. And now I was at the end of the level. So that's the end of the video for today. and I spent a long time making this, especially in the Golden Ridge part. So if you want to like or subscribe, that would really help me out a lot. And also, my daily uploads, like the meme videos that I make, I'll just put those in like bloopers at the end of these videos. So, enjoy the memes, and have a great day. Bye.